Does your factory Dodge Ram 6.7 Cummins sound like this? Is your exhaust brake not functioning as you would expect it to? I'd highly suggest you watch this video through its entirety, guys, and have a moment to take a look. Have your mechanic, and not just the dealer, take the inner fender well off, pull that actuator off, make sure they drain the coolant first, or it is going to fry the actuator, and test the actuator, guys. It's not hard to test it. I'm not going to go into how to testing it because I'm not going to be liable for that, but I am going to say is, if they can get your exhaust brake arm, the actual physical arm like this, and it can move, I highly suggest you order a Geno's Garage or City Diesel actuator, and I would suspect that's going to fix all your exhaust brake issues. If you're not sold yet, watch this video, and at the end I'll explain how great it's been for me, and we'll chat soon. Well, as we discussed in the previous video, what we talked about was common failure point on these 6.7 Cummins turbos, and this is going to be a pretty short and sweet video, guys. So last time I talked about how I wasn't positive that this actuator was happy. Well, a little bit of investigating, that should have some resistance. You're going to be seeing on the GoPro, maybe on the big screen. And then just inside here is a couple gears, and that's what's driving this here, which actually then turns this part here. So what you'll see, guys, is this is what moves the variable vane in and out. A nice back and forth motion. So it doesn't take much, but it's onto this spline setup, and then you can see this moves hardly anything, and I can tell right away what the problem is, because it's stiff going one way. So you can actually hear things moving. Now let's see if we can see it. So you can see this is the exhaust brake, and it moves back and forth, restricting the amount of airflow that can go out. As we know, I had issues with mine. Taking the turbo apart, we kind of agreed. I think everybody that was watching would agree, hey, your turbo seemed pretty good. So I got a hold of Geno's Garage, and they sold me this. Now this is a really expensive version of this. Huge differences though. Billet aluminum housing. This has got an upgraded electronics and way more jam just in this here. I can feel the horsepower difference, and somebody's gonna say, oh, you can't feel it. Yes, you can, just in the resistance here. The motor, the magneto of it is much stronger than the other one, which is huge for me. So we are putting on the Geno's Garage, which is actually from City Diesel. They worked with City Diesel on developing a new actuator. So if you're watching this video and you came because of a turbo, the actuator that wasn't functioning anymore, this is probably your first fix. That said, guys, I hate to tell you this, you don't know until you take your actuator apart. And if that shaft on your turbo won't move, you have to rebuild your turbo first. So you would do both at the same time. I personally would not buy, well, I bought this after, but you could get ahead buying this ahead, and if your turbo is still moving, that shaft is still moving, this is going to do the job. Nice part about this, Geno's claims, and we're going to test that in another video, but they claim that you can plug this in. It's plug and play, guys, and you don't need to calibrate it, which is huge because that is a nightmare of a procedure. And it's not difficult, it's just it can be done incorrectly and leave you back to square one, damaging either this actuator or the turbo. That's it, guys. If you're having actuator issues, highly suggest look into Geno's Garage. Pick up a City Diesel actuator. It was the cheapest I found was through City Diesel or through Geno's Garage. City Diesel might sell them separately. I didn't check with them at the time, but I checked afterwards and I didn't see it listed, but maybe contacting them direct would do it. Take care. See you on the next one. Well, guys, as you can tell, it's been about 3 or 4 months since I rebuilt my turbo. I was under the impression that my turbo's exhaust system was the issue. Well, lo and behold, that exhaust brake wasn't the entire story. I rebuilt, did a billet wheel, that's fine. Also studded my motor at the same time, few other things. I bought this truck in September, basically a year ago, of 2019. The exhaust brake worked sporadically. I had that exhaust note that would kick in and out at idle while it warmed up, especially in the cold weather. I got tired of it in April, I fixed it. I attribute most of my fix to this actuator. As you watched in my video, the arm on mine, it moved freely. It really wasn't even that stiff. Lo and behold, a $700 American dollar actuator would have fixed all my issues. So highly suggest, guys, and I'm not sponsored any form, way, shape, or form on them, by them, or on them, by them at all, to tell you, yeah, try that first. It's gonna cost less than a Fleece Cheetah turbo. It's gonna cost less than a Dodge replacement turbo. And I would suspect, as long as you use your exhaust brake frequently, it's gonna continue to work. If you guys found this video informative, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and you know what, guys? I've got more Dodge Cummins content coming. I have Rexus content coming, and I have Jeep SRT content coming. So, guys, thanks a lot. I'll chat with you soon. Stay running off-road. Take care.